close your eyes for a second. Think of a morning from your childhood. The warmth of your bed, the smell of food from the kitchen, a parent's voice calling your name. Now imagine, what if someone captured that feeling and turned it into a masterpiece of world literature? That's exactly what Leo Tolstoy did. Today, we're stepping into one of the most quietly beautiful books ever written, Childhood. Tolstoy's first published novel, written when he was just 23 years old. This is not a story of war, not a story of politics or grand adventure. This is the story of a single boy named Nikolenka and the bittersweet, tender world of his early years, a world that, once lost, can never be returned to. Let's begin. The story opens on a morning. 10-year-old Nikolenka Itenyev wakes up in his family's country estate in rural Russia. His tutor, Karl Ivanich, is already awake, killing a fly near the boy's head with a swatter, accidentally waking him up. It's such a small, almost silly moment, but Tolstoy uses it brilliantly. In that single second of being woken up, Nikolenka feels annoyed. He thinks, why does Karl Ivanich have to do that? Why couldn't he just let me sleep? And here's where Tolstoy's genius quietly appears. Because immediately after that thought, Nikolenka feels guilty. He thinks about how kind Karl Ivanich really is. How this old German tutor has spent years caring for him. How he has no family of his own. And the boy's heart softens. This tiny moment, annoyance turning to tenderness, is the entire emotional DNA of the book. It's about how children feel everything with breathtaking intensity, and how love and guilt and joy are all tangled up together in the heart of a child. Nikolenka gets dressed. He goes downstairs to greet his father. His father, Pyotr Alexandrovich, is a charming, cheerful man, the kind of father who fills a room with energy. But even at 10 years old, Nikolenka senses something beneath the surface, a restlessness, a distance. His father announces, he is taking the boys to Moscow. And just like that, the carefree world of the country estate begins to feel fragile. But before Moscow, there is one last perfect day, a hunting trip. Tolstoy's description of the hunt is one of the most vivid passages in the book. The dogs, the horses, the early morning mist over the fields, the shouts of the huntsmen, the wild, joyful chaos of it all. Nikolenka rides alongside the adults, desperate to be taken seriously, to be seen as a man, not just a boy. And then he misses. A hare runs past him, and in the excitement, he fumbles. He falls from his horse. The other boys mock him. Nikolenka is devastated. He cries, not just because he missed the hare, but because he feels small, embarrassed, like he has failed at the one thing that mattered in that moment. And again. Tolstoy captures something so honest here. Do you remember that feeling as a child? That total, overwhelming shame over something an adult might find trivial. The way a small failure could feel like the end of the world. That is Tolstoy's gift. He remembers what it feels like to be young, not in a sentimental way, but with complete emotional honesty. After the hunt, life on the estate continues in its gentle rhythm. There are games with the village children. There are lessons with Karl Ivanich. There are quiet evenings with Maman, Nikolenka's mother. And it is the mother, Natalia Nikolaevna, who is at the true heart of this story. Tolstoy describes Nikolenka's mother with such love that it is almost painful to read. Not because she is perfect, but because she is real. She has dark, gentle eyes, a soft voice, hands that the boy loves to kiss. When she plays the piano in the evenings, Nikolenka sits in the corner and listens, and he feels that the whole world is safe. that nothing bad can ever happen, that this moment will last forever. Of course, it won't. There is a beautiful scene where Nikolenka goes to his mother at night just to be near her. She holds him. She strokes his hair. And in that moment, he thinks, I am the happiest person in the world. Tolstoy writes, love, that's me, that's all I am. Happy, I am happy. This is not just the memory of a boy. This is Tolstoy, the grown man, writing about the purest form of love he had ever known, and mourning the fact that it cannot last. Because childhood does not last. The family prepares to leave for Moscow. The servants gather to say goodbye. Old folk are the butler, the nannies, the village people who have known Nikolenka his whole life. Nikolenka watches everything with wide eyes, trying to memorize it all. The house, the smell of the air, the faces, as if some part of him already knows. This is goodbye. Not just to a place, but to a version of himself. In Moscow, everything is different. The children are enrolled in formal education. There are social visits, parties, new faces. Nikolenka is thrown into the world of appearances, of how you look, what you say, what others think of you. He becomes deeply self-conscious for the first time. He worries that he is ugly, that his nose is too big, that his lips are too thick. He compares himself to other boys, the handsome, confident ones, and feels himself come up short. He develops a crush on a girl named Sonia, and the description of his young, awkward love is both funny and heartbreaking. He doesn't know what to do with the feeling. He just knows it makes him feel impossibly happy and impossibly sad at the same time. Sound familiar? Meanwhile, his father's complicated nature becomes clearer. There are rumors, whispers, a sense that the family's stability is not quite what it seems. Nikolenka doesn't understand everything, but he feels it. And through all of this, one thread remains constant. The thought of Maman. He writes her letters. He thinks of her music, her hands, her voice. And then the letter arrives. Natalia Nikolaevna is ill. The family rushes home, but they are too late. When Nikolenka sees his mother for the last time, she is already beyond recognition. The illness has taken everything. The soft eyes, the gentle hands, the voice he loved, and then she's gone. Tolstoy writes the scene with devastating restraint. He doesn't over-dramatize. He doesn't give us long speeches or theatrical grief. Instead, he gives us a small, terrible detail. When the peasant women come to pay their respects, and they begin to weep loudly, Nikolenka, standing at his mother's side, finds himself starting to perform his grief. To cry louder because others are crying. To make sure he looks sad enough. And then he catches himself, and he feels a shame deeper than any he has ever known. Because he realizes, in that terrible, honest moment, that grief, even for the person you love most in the world, can get tangled up with vanity. With how you appear to others, even in death, even in childhood. This is Tolstoy. This is why he is Tolstoy. Childhood ends not with resolution, but with remembrance. Nikolenka grows up. The world moves on, but he carries those years inside him. The morning hunts, the piano music, the warm light in his mother's room, like a world he can visit only in memory. Tolstoy wrote this book at 23, but somehow he already understood what most of us only realize much later. Childhood is not a time, it is a feeling. And you only know it was perfect when it's already gone. This book is only 150 pages long, but it contains more emotional truth than most novels 10 times its length. If you've never read it, please do. It will make you remember something you thought you had forgotten. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stories like this, great books told with love. And tell me in the comments, what is your most vivid childhood memory? Until next time, read more, feel more.